What's going on, everybody? This Afro think tank. Look what white supremacy is doing to white people in America. I'm going to show you what white supremacy is doing to white people in America. This is a prime example. This is the only video you need if you really want to see what white supremacy is doing to white people in America. And it's sad. And this is the reason why the right wing, or the industrial complexes of America, likes to continue to promote racism within the politically uneducated portions of our community, right? Because they don't want these white people to realize who the true enemy is, right? So they need white people to be oppressed, via classism, right? While being the instruments of racial oppression. So the oppressed, right? The only way they can get out their frustrations about their class oppression is to oppress or promote policies and institutions that oppress the people they see as the cause of their problem, which are their peers who happen to be black or brown within their communities, right? Which distracts them and kicks the can of accountability down the road for these industrial powerhouses that mean to maximize capital gain off the backs of people's health, because they do not care. You understand? When I say these people do not care, they don't care about your life. Your life means nothing. Your children's lives mean nothing. Your grandmama's life mean nothing. To white supremacists, white people's families and communities mean nothing. To the point to where, right, keep in mind, the same propaganda that white supremacy uses in order to justify the hatred that they manufacture towards anybody that don't look like them, right, is those people over there are doing this to us, right? But in fact, it is them themselves who are doing it to them, right? And here's an example. There's a town in the middle of America where a American, originally owned American company, right, who sold the company to a Chinese company, Chinese, Taiwanese company, subsidiary, whatnot. But so there is a company, right, owned by China. Keep in mind, China's supposed to be America's enemy. They tell Fox News, they tell these very same people, China, 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 China. Enemy, 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 enemy. There's our mortal enemy for whatever reason, right? They're supposed to be our enemy. And in the lexicon and the minds of these white Americans, China is the enemy. We have to do everything to stop communism, stop China, right? But in fact, the capitalists of America and the capitalists of China, right, even though the systems of China is not capitalistic for the people, right? They live in a politically monotheistic society, right? They live in a one-party system, right? A quasi mix between capitalism and communism, right? We as Americans, we live with a mix of capitalism and liberalism, right? Two different mixtures of capitalism, not even pure capitalism, right? But those two forms, those are meant for the peasants, in the China's case, subjects. The people of China are subjects. We are peasants over here. Citizens, yeah, peasants. There's a slight difference, right? And so, but despite that, the rich people, the ones that got the money, who live above laws and regulations and rules, they don't mind selling land. They'll sell American land to Chinese people, right? So where Chinese people who need resources own land in America, in the heartland of America, where white people are from, and then they build and produce and manufacture things that's not good for the population, right? We see all the time, right? We see all the time that white American companies will build things in black communities, right, causing great effects to the community. But at the same time, those same white companies are building the same manufacturing plants, the same data centers, the same industrial centers that destroy the local population, that get them sick, that get them catching cancer, undiagnosed diseases, and they do nothing, right? And this is all for profit, all to give profit to their board members, to their shareholders. So there's Chinese companies in the middle of America who own land and are producing harmful toxins that's killing off European Americans who are homegrown here. They with the guise of we're providing jobs. They may provide, a few jobs for the locals, but what are they doing to the community, right? They're killing. Imagine waking up and the air that you breathe is filled with a black liquidy substance that you're breathing in every single day. That's affecting your body. That's affecting your ability to recreate. That's affecting your children's ability to learn and develop. That's affecting your other underlying health issues that this would just exacerbate. But you think they care about your health? You think they care about the thousands and thousands of peoples of flora, of fauna that they are affecting within hundreds of miles square or round radius of their industrial parks where they manufacture goods for the world? You think that they care about the babies that's breathing this in, about the women that's breathing this in and then breastfeeding their babies? Do you think they care about the children that's inhaling this toxins for years and they procreate and their sperm is mutated and they can't have children, and women's eggs are mutated and they can't bear children, and the food is being intoxicated now in consuming it and they're catching? Do you think that white supremacy actually gives two shits about white people? They don't. They don't. Yes, we are in a class. This is class warfare. Our enemies are the well-to-do, the criminals who have been allowed to get away with criminality because they have enough money and influence with other criminals who have enough money, and they all collectively wear suits and create the laws that suppress us while violating the laws and not holding themselves accountable to the very same laws, while conducting the world's most diabolical criminal activities under the guise of industrial profit, right? Killing millions of people slowly, destroying humanity and the earth under the guise of profit. But all that's legal because, remember, they own the politicians that create the laws, right? Because they have enough money to pay off those politicians within the system that we all promote, which is capitalism, Western society, corrupt democracy, because democracy itself is a perfect system. But we don't practice democracy in America. We have loopholes so criminals can continue to get away with their activities within the apparatus of democracy. So I'm just saying, white supremacy don't benefit white people, right? And then white people, while being subjugated through classism, which they have always been throughout their existence, even in Europe. This is why they ran away from Europe. This is also why they got thrown away from Europe. This is why Europe kicked a lot of them out. It has something to do with their position within the class system of the aristocracy of European society. And they came here, and the only bone that they were ever given was the ability to be racist. So within the classist system, they were able to create another caste system, which is the color caste system, which they hold on to, but it really hasn't benefited them at all, literally. But it has benefited the real races, the white people in suits who can give two shits about the poor races, like Chud the Builder, and all the people he affected, his family, the people like him. They don't care about none of them people, right? And that is the thing that white folks in America need to get through their head. White people in Europe need to get this through their head. The people that's selling people out in Europe, the people that's replacing their indigenous people in Europe for the benefit of profit, are the rich white people in suits who they go and campaign for and buy goods and products from every day. That's the enemy. The enemy looks, for white people, they don't understand their enemy, their biggest enemy, looks like them. Their enemy looks just like them. And they can't recognize it because that racism is just so deep. They've been so programmed to be racist and to just naturally fight against your natural allies, right? That they got y'all in such a trick bag as you're engineering your extinction. Your societies are engineering your extinction in every possible way. And you guys are upset and angry and you're trying to figure out what to do about it. But yet the one thing that y'all can do, the one thing that would work, y'all don't want to do it. The one thing that y'all can do is unite with your black brothers and sisters globally and say, fuck this racism shit, and let's go to war with these rich people. Doing the work and doing self-reflecting and realize your ancestors were fucked up. They did fucked up shit. That your peers deserve some sort of reparative justice. Deal with it. Don't be jealous. Look outside of your ego. Let's unite and get together and defeat these rich bastards that created a world to where only they can thrive and have a good time while the rest of us got to suffer. But until white people figure that out, we're always going to be here. We're going to be here in this place. But anyway, you tell me what you guys think about this in the comment section. It's Afro Think Tank. Learn something, teach something. I'm out.
In northern Oklahoma, a community says a strange substance has been appearing all across town.
We've gone to pick up our granddaughter from school, and she looks like she's come out of a coal mine, from playing on the playground.
Many call it a welcome to Ponca City.
just walking out and rubbing your finger across your car, and there's black all over it.
Black soot covers neighborhoods throughout the town. The powdery material seen all over.
We noticed that our pets had come in and they were covered in this black debris.
City leaders vow to find the source of the mysterious substance.
The source of the chemical composition of the dust are currently under investigation.
But in complaints to state regulators, residents suggest it is no mystery after all.
And a lot of these people didn't know what it was at first. And when I seen it, I knew exactly what it was.
It's carbon black.
Carbon black is a fine, powdery substance primarily used in tires. Signs of it are all across town, literally. And according to the complaints, it's the worst-kept secret in Ponca City.
It's been going on since we was out of there. You can drive by and you can tell if it's blowing out.
The Continental Carbon plant sits just south of Ponca City. It has produced carbon black since 1954.
This plant has run for years. It ran for decades the right way. It just got mismanaged. And that's where all this trouble's coming from.
Ray, David, Marvin, and Travis were union workers at Continental Carbon for decades. They say environmental concerns begin to appear after the plant sold to the China Synthetic Rubber Corporation, a Taiwan-based company, in 1995.
You could see the stream of black leaving the plant for miles in the air. Just a stream of it.
In the past few years, complaint after complaint has been filed with the Department of Environmental Quality. They point to Continental Carbon as the source of the black dust. KOCO reached out to Continental Carbon several times for an interview, but did not receive a response. And this is not the first time the plant has been in the hot seat.
What do we want? Clean air. When do we want it? Now.
This is the dust that floats around. I just took this off my car.
In 2009, members of the Ponca tribe of Oklahoma and nearby landowners received a $10.5 million settlement from Continental Carbon after claiming it was causing pollution and health concerns. Carla Moulton is a citizen of the Ponca tribe. She says history is repeating itself.
Those of us that were here in Ponca City when that happened in 2006, we know where it comes from.
20 years after that settlement, Carla told the DEQ that black dust was coming from the Continental Carbon plant once again. Her complaint closed after just 4 days.
And they said, well, that's not black. That's not the soot or anything. And I said, okay. And they said, well, send pictures. So I sent pictures with the dog's paws and stuff, and never heard anything about it anymore until you called.
The DEQ cited lack of evidence and her home's distance from the plant. But those who are familiar with carbon black say even those who live miles away could see its effects.
You can take a small container, you could cover this whole floor and half this house with it.
It's not shocking that it would make its way all the way, say, to
No.
The DEQ does not release active complaints, but confirmed most of the 11 open investigations are in the northeast side of town, about 5 miles from the Continental Carbon plant. But Carla is not the only one who has seen her complaint closed. The DEQ has closed others too, usually after an investigator goes to the site and claims to not see any dust leaving the plant, some days after the complaints were made. KOCO uncovered that at least one DEQ investigation found Continental Carbon failed to control fugitive dust with emissions of 60% opacity in 2024. At the time, the DEQ said it was addressing the matter. 2 years later, residents are still reporting black dust. Linda and Travis Kirby live on the north side of town. Evidence of black dust surrounds their property.
This is where all the water pools and runs to the draw back behind the house, so you can see where the carbon black has settled out of the water.
And as the black soot continues to cause concerns, a community is left pushing for answers, some knowing they may not have another chance.
It is a brain surgery that is incurable. So probably the most I can live is 15 months. Now, I'm sorry, that's not fair.
Sue Betcher's husband went up against Continental Carbon decades ago before he died of cancer. She's carrying on the fight that is still ongoing.
I have nothing to lose. My life is already in danger.
While the DEQ continues to investigate the source of the black dust, Continental Carbon remains quiet.
I'd like to recognize the Vice President here of Continental Carbon. I believe he has prepared a statement, not a mandatory statement, but He was ready to speak.
You don't have to if you don't want to.
You don't want
Okay. No, I don't think they're going to at this time. So.
Fuck them. Again. Fuck them. Them and you is not friend. Fuck them. Them no need to be in your life. So why you making them cause you nothing but trouble and strife? Fuck them.
Free Sudan. Boycott diamonds and gold. Free Sudan. Boycott diamonds and gold. We most definitely cannot forget about the people of Sudan.
Who taught you to hate the texture of your hair? Who taught you to hate the shape of your nose? Who taught you to hate the color of your skin to such an extent that you bleach? Who taught you to hate yourself from the top of your head to the soles of your feet? Before you come asking Mr. Muhammad, does he teach hate? You should ask yourself, who taught you to hate being what God gave you?
Thanks for watching Afro Think Tank. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And follow me on Substack and Patreon for more content. Remember, it's Pan-Africanism or nothing.